Victor EZ Micro Camper Builds here. This episode we're going to be dealing with renovating the basement. We're going to be using all the tools. We have to cut the bracket that holds the spare tire out. We have to drill some holes to mount some blocks so that we can put a platform in to put the fridge on. We've got the jigsaw to cut the platform, so we can do it all with these tools. And hang around and I'll show you how it's done. So the number one thing that you need to do is remove the spare tire. And I'll go back into the archives and show you how to do that. And make this platform, which is just mounted onto the frame. And I'd suggest cutting a hatch so you have some extra space below there. So that's our number one thing to do. Okay, we're back. What we're going to look at today is the space in the trunk, because we need every cubic inch we can get. Okay, well, now I figure the spare tire is going to go up on the roof. One thing we've got is right in the middle of the trunk there's a bracket that the tire sits on. So the first thing we're going to have to do is get rid of that. So that means let's get ourselves a grinder. Okay. Well, that's good. I don't think we needed that thing anyway. Time to take a look at the basement. See what we got in here. Tie straps, jumper cables, tire repair kit. I'm taking it apart because it's time to put things away, and we want to put our spare tire back in here because we won't have the roof rack on in the winter. So first of all, we need to get our trusty drill, put it in reverse, and the force last one. That's free. Well, I should mention also that this may not look like yours because this has got sound dampening in it and also reflectix for some insulation. Yours would be just bare metal. But there is a video on this about how to finish off the basement. Inside the trunk, we'll find the blocks, 2 at the back, and there's 2 at the front here. These are made of plywood. They're about 1 7/8 around. Now what I found is a pill container, which is pretty much exactly the same size. So we can use this as a template to make our blocks. And I just want to check the measurement. So that's the back ones. We'll do the front ones. The back ones are just about 1 inch, and the front ones are 1.25 inches. You can see that that's perfect. So 2 pieces for the front block. Now the back block, as we can see, it's about 1/4 inch higher. So we need another piece of some material 1/4 inch thick to make up that one. Hopefully you can find something, or 2 5/8. If we look at these blocks, we can see they're bolted through with a bolt that is flush. It needs to be about a 2-inch bolt, and then fastened underneath with a washer. There's where our bolts come through. I use 5/16 with a big washer on there, and you can see there's some sealant there to keep them from leaking. When we put our panel in, we have to somehow mark where the bolts are so we don't screw into them. What I did was I added a magnet on the bolt with the screw sticking out of it, and then pushed the platform into it. If you don't have magnets, you could use anything. I don't know, put some chewing gum on there and then press it down and see where it ends up, or a little bit of paint on each one of them. I'll leave it up to you to figure it out, but once you get that, then mark those as the place that you don't want to screw into. We're going to need to cut 8 of this size. So this is a pill bottle. Got different sizes here we can use for different templates, but this one is about 1 7/8 inches. So perfect size. So what I want to do is make a little modification to this. First of all, I'm going to take a screw and just carefully, where that point is, make sure you make a little depression so your drill will go in straight. Now we're going to take a drill with a small drill bit, whatever you have, and we'll just drill a hole right through. Now the idea of this is so that we can stick a pencil through and mark the center when we make our template. So I can draw the outside around here, like so, and I can also put a mark for the center. Now we need something to make our circles, so we're going to make ourselves another little template here. So we're saying we need a 12-inch. We'll mark 12 there. I'm going to mark 11.5 too. And what we're going to do is we're going to just, again, drill ourselves. So now we've got a stick with 3 holes in, and we've got a little pivot point there at the bottom. So all we need is to put that down with a tack, and we can turn this and make circles. We've got our paint stir compass, and we'll just put it in the center here and use our pencil to scribe our circle like this. There's a bit of play here. It doesn't have to fit tight, so you can have 1/2 inch gap. So anyway, once we have that, we can cut that out. When we get our panel cut, one of the pieces is going to be cut at 23 inches, because this is 23 inches and this is a little over 24, but that's what this is. So as you notice, our panel, when we cut this, we're going to have this part left over at the corner. I'm just going to slide. So I want to make sure that you save that piece, because if we look at this, here's our template, and this will be our offcut. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we need 8. So we're going to use these little pieces on the corner to make those blocks. So make sure you save them. If they overlap a little, it doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfect circles. So what we've got is circles here with dots in the middle for the center. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to drill the holes in the center because it's a lot easier to do with a bigger piece. Then after that, we'll cut out the circles. Away we go. So now that we've got that cut, we can cut out our circles. And we'll just use the jigsaw to do that. So what we're going to end up with is some circles that we can stack, and we'll use that as our spacer. Let's just take a look at the trapdoor. The measurements are 7 inches up from the bottom, so I would measure this all from the bottom up. So 7 and 17 and a half, and then in from each side 3 and a half and 3 and a half. So we can mark our board with that in the center. And then I'm going to show you how to cut that out. I'm just going to show you how we're going to cut out the trapdoor. So you're measuring up from the bottom and you're making your marks at the bottom, side, the top, and the other side. And just find where our center is. So 8.5, 4 1/4. So there's our center mark. So what we want to do is put a thumb hole here. We'll just use one of our little pill bottles. I'm putting this about 3/8 of an inch down on the center so we get a slightly elongated hole. And just straighten up the sides there. So the purpose of this is we drill a hole there, we can get our jigsaw blade in and cut around the outside. So we're going to use our big template there to make our corners. What we're going to need to do first of all is drill a hole so our jigsaw blade will go in. So now we've got a hole, we can stick our jigsaw blade in there and prepare to cut. All we have to do is cut our thumb hole out. We've got our door with our finger hole, thumb hole, so we can pull it out. And what we need to do is we'll have to put some little strips on the back so it'll sit in there. But that can be almost any scrap wood you can find, and just make a ledge there for it to sit in. That's pretty much it. Now, when we put these in, it actually has to go upside down, and that's how it fits. Just gonna throw all my stuff in there. We're ready for the winter. Well, we managed to use all the tools for that project. That was our number 1, so scratch that off the list. 4 more to go. So thanks for coming around, and hope to see you soon. Bye for now.